Yes, sir, guys. Geeks all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cuz We Geeked. We encourage you to stay geeked. I'm out here drinking this ice cold water. Not bad, not bad. It's your boy Real. Got my cuz Will. Got Big J in the building. Of course, BA back again. Yet again. Listen. If you guys are new to the channel, into geek content, man, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Join us here, man, every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning as we get our geek on. And also, to everybody, hit them likes for us, man. Help us get the likes up. Build the algorithm up, of course, to help us find more geeks like yourselves to join us here. Well, we got a good one for y'all today, man. As y'all know, got a movie coming out here real soon in a couple more days. Got a couple guys on the panel showing off. I already got the plans already for Thursday. I don't know who they are. I think they're better than us, BJ. I don't know who they are. But listen, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about some news, man. Kevin Feige kind of sat down with Variety and had his little interview talking about the future of Marvel. Kind of same thing that James Gunn did. So, it's only fitting the two, studio heads of the two biggest studios right now on the planet, man. Both had these interviews kind of giving away some secrets and giving away future plans and stuff for their individual studios. So shout out to Kevin Feige, man. We got a lot to get into, man, because he said a lot in that interview with Variety. So let's go ahead and get to it, y'all. So check this out, man. Before we start all that, man, y'all, like we said, we got a movie coming out here in 2 more days, man. Got this movie right here. Fantastic Four: First Steps. So the reviews have already came out, y'all. So check this out. Fantastic Four opens to a score of an 88, no Michael Irvin, all right, on Rotten Tomatoes. He says it's an 88 right now. It's the highest rated Fantastic Four movie ever, which is crazy, man, because I could have sworn that Michael B. Jordan one had it was like a 95 or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes, man. But listen, so far so good, y'all. So that's what they started off at. I don't know what it is right now, but it started off at an 88, man. So that's good. I think we talked about it before. The fact that a lot of people are excited for this movie because of the success of Superman. And so people are ready to go back to the movie theaters and have some fun again, man. So 88 so far is not bad, man. But let's get y'all's opinions on this, man. What you think, cuz, man? Is this about right where you thought it would be at? You thought it'd be a little bit higher, lower? What's on your mind, man?
No, I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago. We gave our idea of what the Rotten Tomatoes would be. And I said I expected it to be right around 80. And I think that was about the gist of all of us, right around 75 to 80. So this isn't too surprising. This has been a major buildup, the importance of it. It's kind of like the Superman 4 when it came to DC, that this is going to be the beginning portion of the next phase. The whole thing hasn't been started over like DC, but it's still like you have to start fresh, start something fresh, and try to pull people back into the theater as well. And this is that first, no pun intended, but this is the first step of doing that. And so, yeah, it being an 88 isn't surprising. It being the highest is that kind of caught me off guard. I thought the very first Fantastic Four that was in the 2000s would have been a little bit higher. Hey, I was a kid at the time. So I thought it was much better. So, but going back and seeing like what the ratings were for the other three was like, dang, that's wild. But the overall 88 rating, yeah, that's not surprising at all. Which I got.
Bro, that remember I think that the Michael B. Jordan one, I think was had like a 17% or something like that on Rotten. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
It finished at a 9. Yeah, I think it was a Culture Crave. I think it was. They had all 4 of them rated, and right now, yeah, the Michael B. one sits at 9.
Jesus, 9. Man.
I don't know where it started, but it's sitting at 9.
Jesus, what you think though, Big J? What's on your mind, man?
I mean,
I know you don't want this to be better than Michael B. Jordan's movie, but it's okay, man.
Hey, look, man, I've been hearing all good things about it. Like one of the things, like I said, I love. Yeah, it is 9% on the fan force.
Yeah.
But actually,
Hold on, what's the audience? What's the audience?
18%.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, bro. I didn't know it was that low, bro. Jesus.
Yeah. No, like one of my big things is like cinematography and
Mhm.
the whole presentation. So I heard that this one has. They said this is one of the most visually impressive Marvel movies ever. Is what I heard that today, and I'm like, but that's saying a lot from some of the stuff we've seen over the years. They said
Yeah.
also from a storytelling standpoint, they say it's probably the best thing we've seen since Endgame, which means it's even better than No Way Home. Which I was like, hey, so if it's better
That's
than that,
major.
and they said it's better without all the the nostalgia. It doesn't need the
Mhm.
nostalgia that No Way Home had root going on, with the cameos and everything. So if it's up to that point, if it's up to that level, then I can't be upset with it.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, man. Just make a good movie. What you
Mhm.
think, BA?
Well, like you all was saying, it's definitely above the other ones. The other ones was a 37 and a 27. Um,
Yeah.
so it's far and away better than any other Fantastic Four. But I'm curious to see what it was compared to the other movies that just recently came out. I
Mhm.
think Thunderbolts was up there. So we don't necessarily know the finale of everything. This is just pregame at the end of the day, right?
Mhm.
The reviews are great so far, but we have to see how it actually plays out. But to get an 88 off the jump, that's promising. And because Thunderbolts was, I think, at 89 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it shows that it could be a good movie. Thunderbolts was a good movie. It just wasn't a blockbuster, right? So in this situation, the core, I guess, theme of it is, do you choose family over everybody else, over the world in a sense?
Mhm.
And I think that basic storyline can tag and tug actually at anybody's emotional strings at the end of the day. So I think if they stick grounded with that and just expand off of that, and try to get as emotional as you can, I think it's going to be doing for a pretty good movie. So um, I'm cool with the 88. I got to see how it plays out. It can go either way. We still know that, but I think they
Mhm.
just had a basis of at worst a decent movie. At worst, a decent movie. It can only go up for that, in my opinion.
Let me ask y'all a question before I get my opinion. Oh, go ahead, BJ.
I was gonna say. So I did look. So Thunderbolts is currently at 88 with a popcorn meter at 93%. So
Mm.
Jesus, okay.
it's just like I said, people just wasn't going to the movie. I think they said that what hurt it was the Marvels and then the
Yeah.
Captain America movie, and so people are
Yeah.
down. So I think that the Fantastic Four is going to ride Superman in already on the high. People want to see more great superhero movies, and it'll
Mhm.
flush out. But go ahead with your point. 'Cause I had something else too.
So what do y'all think is gonna settle that once the dust settle and everything? Once all the critics bring their ratings in and the audience bring their in. What do you think is gonna settle as far as the critic rating?
If it's touched at an 88, it might be sitting right around 85 and up at this point for both critic
Mm.
and audience.
I think audience
As
gonna be at about a
especially,
90. I got 91 for the audience.
it's very possible.
Because Superman's 93. So I'm gonna say about a 91, 92
Yeah,
for the
I
audience.
can see that. Yeah.
Critics, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say what you said, 85. It's always gonna settle that for critics.
What do you
I'm
think the
going
box office
88,
is going to end up being
95.
though?
Oh, it's gonna be a Billy.
Uh,
if
I,
I
I
don't
don't, I
know.
don't, I don't know if it's gonna be a build. I'm gonna say,
they expecting Superman to run it up, so I
Superman.
think this
yeah,
one has a chance.
they got
Superman
to
about
project
to
as high as
be insane.
740. Yeah,
740.
I think
that's not
Fantastic Four is
bad
going to
though.
take. Yeah, Fantastic Four is going to take a lot of the box office from Superman because Superman
This
had
weekend,
two
yeah.
weeks just like me. But here's the
Yeah,
thing though, when did Jurassic World came out? What about three
month.
weeks before Superman?
I thought it was
No, week.
About,
Remember it came out
A
that
week?
week.
about a week
Remember
and
we
a
talked
half.
about it on the show.
Yeah, a week
Yeah,
before.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. Remember we talked about it. We didn't know why they didn't push it up a little bit further to at least get themselves a full 2 weeks
It's
before
doing
Superman came out.
it's doing fine though because I think it's almost at 700 million worldwide.
Yeah, see, so
So when I looked at
yeah,
Jurassic World, so
they got Superman
yeah.
projected as high as about 740 worldwide. So that's not bad, bro. Like I said, they had a lot they had to overcome. So that's pretty good. what they wanted to do is get the critics and the audience on their side. The same thing which we were just talking about too with the Thunderbolts. That's kind of I think that Disney is cool with the fact of what BA just read off with Thunderbolts. Tomato meter score. Being in the high 80s and in the audience like 90 mid 90s or whatever. They're cool with that because they understood the circumstances coming into that movie. Like he just said, look at the stuff they followed behind. So a lot of that had to do with the effect of their box office. Because guess what? Their movie is going to be a key part of what's going to happen in the Avenger movie. So, you know what I mean? So that's why I said that they're cool with that. As long as the audience, the same thing with Superman. We talked about that before. You don't got to make a bill. It'd be nice if they made a bill. But as long as you got the audience and the critics on your side, we should be good to go. Same thing with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has an uphill battle. Remember, they had 3. We want to count 4 with the Cormick movie, which I don't even know if we can find that movie anywhere. But you had 4 questionable movies. I just read off Michael B. Jordan's movie, right? So them getting this, I don't think they're expecting them to get a bill. It'd be nice they got a bill. If they got like $750 or whatever, that's cool. I think they'll be happy with that as long as they got the audience and the critics behind them. And so I think that's the best part about that. But I agree with you though, Big J, because this is why I kind of asked y'all before we started about what y'all gonna watch it in, because like I'm hearing, man, like just kind of from what I'm hearing and kind of the idea I'm getting from the movie, it's gonna be visually beautiful. Like the visuals are gonna be A1, and I think they're encouraging people to go watch it in IMAX. And so the only thing I can say after that is I'm gonna need all 3 of y'all to chip in and give me that bucket, man. That you know what I'm saying? The Galactus bucket.
I thought Big J was giving a bucket for everybody.
Oh yeah, my bad.
You said, which bucket is that?
Oh, bro, I seen a video. I seen a video of that Galactus bucket, man.
I sent it to y'all. I sent it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's big.
Bro, y'all was not lying, man.
I saw it in the theater. It's huge. It's about like the size of your chest and torso, basically. It's like,
bro, they put 2 of the large buckets in there.
Yeah, it holds over 2 gallons of pop. It's over 300 ounces of popcorn.
Jesus,
bro. Like I see why it's $80 now.
But no refill.
Is it sold out?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I heard people saying on one of the other shows, they were saying that they were going to go to multiple theaters and buy multiples, and I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can like buy it and then go take it to like AMC or whatever.
I'm gonna go to AMC and get it. That's what I was gonna get it. It's mine for me if they still.
So they got the. Oh, I thought you said it was at Cinemark.
Well, Cinemark has it. I think AMC has it too. I went to AMC's website. They had it on there.
Okay, so they all got the Galactus. Okay,
they said even Regal. I think it was at Regal. Has it too. Yeah, they got it because they were talking about that in California. They said they have them.
Okay, I don't know. I thought it was just Cinemark because I was telling my wife, I'm like, dang, Cinemark got the best popcorn buckets from what it seemed like. But yeah. So 88, man, that's pretty good. What is it right now? Any of y'all see it up right now?
Fantastic Four right now is at 86.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's gonna sell at about 85.
That's what I'm thinking, about 85.
85, yeah. How many critics reviewed it?
123.
Okay. When it gets to about 200, when it's probably gonna settle.
Now, I did look at something while we were talking. I looked at the lifetime grosses of other Fantastic Four movies.
Oh God, what is it, man?
So you want the first one, the one from 2005 was 154,696,000. The second, Rise of the Silver Surfer, was 131, 921, and then Fan Four Stick was 56,117,000. Yeah, and it was actually in the most theaters. It was in more theaters than any other ones, and it made a third of the money.
Dang, that's right.
What do I succeed? I'm confused. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and turn the page here, man, to Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. Because like I said, Kevin Feige said a lot in the Variety interview he had. So let's get to some of the stuff that he talked about here, man. Man. And some of the stuff he said, man, I think me and you talked about this cuz in the past on the show, man. So we're gonna definitely see what he's talking about here, man. So check this out. Kevin Feige says the X-Men reboot will have a young cast and a strong focus on youth. In an interview with Comic Book, it was confirmed that Jake Shire will direct the MCU's X-Men movie. So that's folks who don't know, that's the director who directed Thunderbolts. Kevin Feige says the reboot will feature a young cast and focus heavily on youth. So we'll get your opinion on this, Big J, man. What's your think about this, man?
Well, yeah, they have to start over, and I know a lot of people were hoping that they kept McAvoy around because I heard that multiple times. But I mean, McAvoy's getting up there in age too, where they want something that can last for, like I said, about 15 or so years, and so you're gonna need a young cast. Like they're actually talking about having some of the main mutants be teachers like they did before, but the vast majority of them be kids because they want to do something almost like a Strange Academy or the Mutant Academy type
I
show.
thought you were gonna say like X-Men Evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was about to say, but yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, but like so, it would make sense. So you want somebody that can, like, even Wolverine. I mean, you need a Wolverine to be in his 30s, probably early 30s, to be the old guy that could be there for, like I said, into his 40s. You don't need somebody that's going to be 60 years old or 55, 56 years old trying to play Wolverine anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
What you think, BA?
Yeah, a lot of these things are gonna be like, yeah, what else are they gonna do, right? Like we're not gonna swing over the 2000 X-Men and expect them to last another 20 years of filmmaking, right? That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Even in Feige's 7-year window, that's just getting to the X-Men at the end of it, right? That he just came out and said. So we're going to need some fresh blood. So they tried it with First Class, and they, every X-Men after that, they was going younger. But now with a clean slate, I think you just go ahead on and swipe everybody, because I don't think no one really fully attached themselves. Probably outside of Professor X and Magneto. I mean, Michael Faison, whatever his last name. There you go. What he said. He was a great Magneto, in my opinion. So he can set the bar of what you're looking for, and then you try to either go younger than that. There's actors, a dime a dozen. There's plenty of them to choose from. And let the movie make the actor, make them let's make the character make us fall in love with the actor, so that they're not paying these actors out the wazoo, and they can spend more money on the movie itself. So I think that is the best way to do. And I hope they go young. I hope they go very young. I hope they go early 20s with most of the stuff, if not younger than that. And then let's see where we at in the next 10, 15 years after that.
Yeah, I agree. That way we can grow with them. Kind of like in the comics when they had the First Class, with Beast and Iceman and all them. Jean Grey, well, she's a Marvel girl at the time, and then Cyclops and missing somebody, Angel. I was always thinking if they're gonna reboot it, I would start with that core and then work your way into the X-Men we saw in the 80s with Colossus and all them, and then kind of work your way towards the X-Men in the 90s when they had Gambit and all them. That's like you said, they starting young. I think they could be able to do something like that where they can kind of just gradually upgrade the group as time goes on. But what's on your mind, cuz?
I think that'd be perfect. We knew that everybody knew that followed the comic books that they had to go young. I like the idea of treating what BA was saying, go young to where they could save the money. I would say think of it kind of like your Star Wars. You have such a young cast, for the most part, no names. Harrison was kind of known, but not really. He had the voice of James Earl Jones, but he's not massive like he got over time. But if you go young and at least have a little bit of name recognition, or like one or two to
maybe the key role like Magneto and like Xavier or something.
Exactly, but everybody else around them is young, low to no names. I think that'd be perfect. Save that money, like BA said, be able to use it towards more of the filmmaking, and then being able to, like Big J said, being able to have that wide range of 10 to 15 years built up with it. I love it. Absolutely love it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with y'all, man. Like I said, I'm cool with it. I would like to see the original. I don't think they're gonna start off the X-Men with the Wolverine. If I had to put some BJ's Hot Toys on, I don't think they're gonna do that, man. They're gonna give the other characters kind of time to kind of for us to get used to them and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, those X-Men movies felt like a Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
Right. They did Cyclops dirty. They did Storm dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't really give them their due diligence. And so I think now that what they're gonna try to do is kind of like with X-Men 97. They're gonna try to give everybody flush all the characters out and get their kind of their introduction, and that way we all can grow with those characters as they get older. So no, I agree with what y'all said though.
I need that Cyclops back.
Yes, I need Cyclops back. Yes.
Quick question for y'all: do you think that we're gonna have Rogue meet Captain Marvel at any point during the MCU?
Yeah.
They could flush that out.
Yeah.
You want that Rogue, or you want the Rogue that just like a regular Rogue?
No,
like
I mean, you remember the X-Men from the '90s? I mean, we had the Rogue that had all Carol Danvers' powers. It was flying around, and that was the Rogue I always kind of remember growing up. So
they can't do the X-Men version of Rogue again. The movie version. She's never again.
Yeah, we need the other one.
Yeah,
we
need to. And we saw her in X-Men '97, like that strength, and it's like they put it in her head that what Rogue can do. Might as well keep it going.
I'm not mad at it. It's fine. Like I said, just make the character good, man. Because I think she kind of was like an afterthought after like the second, but not probably the first one. Because she was kind of like pushed to the side on that second. It was an X2 or whatever. So it's pretty much a Wolverine story. Like I said, him going back to Canada and all that stuff, where he got his had the experiments and all that stuff done. So.
Well, didn't they say we're getting your favorite character in this one? I heard that Jubilee was on the roster.
Oh God, bro! They don't need Jubilee.
Nightcrawler. Give me Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I'll take Nightcrawler. No, they don't need Jubilee right now, bro.
Come on now.
It's way too early.
She'll be a baby.
Yeah, she will be a baby. Her powers ain't developed yet.
The plasmoids. You need to see those plasmoids.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, X-Men 97, she showed out, man. She showed out in X-Men 97.
No, she did. She did.
You did. Yeah.
I'll give you that. I gotta watch that again, by the way. I'm glad y'all brought that up. So Kevin Feige says Marvel will eventually recast core heroes like Iron Man and Captain America. Since an interview with Deadline, Kevin Feige says Marvel will eventually recast core characters like Iron Man and Captain America. All right, BA, what you think about this one, man?
So yeah, you got to, right? So sometimes you got to take certain moments and readjust, right? They don't want to go into a full reboot. They don't like to say that word. So they are pivoting. They are redoing in a sense. And yes, you can go younger, and then you can make. You got to have Steve Rogers in your universe. You got to have Tony Stark here. So these are things that you have to have. And I mean, Robert Downey Jr. He's old. Like, let's just call it what it is. Even Chris Evans, although he might look on the younger side, he's up there. He's been active for a while now. So you got to redo these things. And if you do it right, if you do it well, pause. You don't have anything to worry about. That the character themselves will sell, just like we said in X-Men. The character make the actor. We didn't know Chris Hemsworth before Thor came out like that. Nobody really knew his name like that. If you knew his name, then you was a huge fan, pause, of Chris Hemsworth. So the fact that he is now Thor and I can't see nobody else but Thor being Chris Hemsworth, well, those are two things coming together at the same time, which made for a great character / actor. So it's nothing that you can't do that again, so that's just what it is. You just got to have the great writing and a great storyline, and then we'll sit down and we'll watch it. So they have to do that, and they can take this time that everything's about to be in flux. This whole world that we about to get into when it comes to the 616 and everything else around it is going to be flipped on its head. This is the time to do it. Why? What better time?
Facts. What you think, cuz?
Yeah, it was only a matter of time that it was going to end up happening. And hopefully they're already in the process of finding a new Cap and Iron Man, so that once everything happens that they'll have their new cast and they'll be able to get rolling. Because at that point, they could just introduce them in like a probably group setting, if anything, not necessarily their own movie per se, just because you do want to. It wouldn't be the same. Just because you know that the characters are different, or the people who play them are so much different, you wouldn't want to take too much of a chance having a standalone movie with them. Just because it's a new cast of actors and actresses, so you have to introduce them in a group setting, in Avengers or whatever. But the thing is, with when you do it, you have to do it right. But it's also exciting the fact that also means that they don't have to. We don't have to worry about the origin stories anymore. With these characters, like we've already gone through it. These are just new people playing it, and it's after the essentially the world got rebooted. You know, a whole change for everything. So don't have to do origin story. Can kick off basically like Superman did. Hey, this stuff been happening for a while, and just jump straight to the action. So that's what I'm hoping for when they recast. But yeah, we knew it was coming, but and it's going to be exciting to see who they end up going with. Because for this one, I wonder if they would do mid names or low tier names. Like it's could end up being that type of situation, and they end up growing into the role as well, like Robert and Evans did.
What you think, BJ?
Well, first of all, I was going to call that BA for disrespecting Chris Hemsworth's portrayal of George Samuel Kirk in the 2009 Star Trek movie. So,
Hold on. R.I.P. Sorry, you saying?
R.I.P.
Now, my thing is, I understand, but to me, that's also kind of lazy though, because they're just like we talk about. These are universes. There's enough other characters that we haven't even touched on. We've been doing 20 years of Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. We could look at some other characters. We still ain't touch on what's his name? I forgot his name now.
Anybody in the cosmic side?
That's what I'm saying. The one they've been trying to do a show for years.
Nova?
Xandar. Huh?
No, Nova?
Nova, yeah. They supposed to be doing a Nova show. They talk about doing
Okay.
Annihilus and doing his, bringing him in, which you could do Annihilus with the Fantastic Four. I say,
he need to be his own bad guy in a. Well, never mind. Go ahead.
They're talking about Blade, and I did yesterday. There was some talk about Blade, and they did talk about the writer. So there's some stuff coming on with that. So there's enough other stories where we don't have to jump right back in. Okay, we need to get a Captain America and Iron Man has to be in here, because once again, everybody forget that those were not A-list characters in Marvel. So we got other stories to tell. You got 70 years worth of stories. You could go and look and find other stories that don't always involve them. You got a whole mutant saga you got to tell. And like I said, there's a cosmic side, there's a supernatural side. You could explore all that and then come back to that in 15 years if you want to and start over with those characters. You don't have to go straight to that.
So I hear you, BJ. I don't think they're saying that he's going to go straight to that. I think he's just saying in general they're going to reboot it. I equate it to James Bond, right? I hear what you're saying about we got other characters, but the average moviegoer recognizes Iron Man and Captain America, right? So they would feel comfortable if you had a Iron Man and a Captain America in some shape, form, or fashion on the screen, right? With those two characters, with Steve Rogers and with Tony Stark, they want those guys back on the screen, which is why whenever you hear that news about Chris Evans coming back and Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, the internet blows up because everybody's like, "Yo, are they coming back? There's rumors. We're hearing this. We're hearing that." And so with them rebooting it, I kind of said this before about the Secret War. They're using Secret Wars as a case study of like, hey, we got to reboot everything. Because I think what they want to do is kind of like I said, kind of like with James Bond, right? We can see James Bond get rebooted 815 million times, right? The key to James Bond is he has his prime youth, right? He's gonna be between a certain age. He's in his prime, no matter what movie it is. And so they had him sign those contracts where they do about 7 to 10 years or whatever within a certain age range. And so once they get past that, they move on to somebody else. So James Bond always stays in that certain age range, right? So that way his stories and stuff can continue to keep going. I think they're thinking that same thing with these two guys. Have these guys stay in a certain age range so you can have them constantly around at all times. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to redo the whole entire universe around them. It's just saying that they're going to be in this universe in some shape, form, or fashion. Because they talk about rebooting a lot of these guys. I think he talked about it he actually used the R word in his interview, reboot. And which, like BA said, it makes sense. You can't have, Robert Downey Jr. at 65 years old steady playing Iron Man for the next 10 more years. You know what I'm saying? You're going to eventually have to reboot that character. And you're going to have to reboot it because he's in the zeitgeist now. He's in the non-comic book fans out here know who this guy is. So that's a popular IP. That brings in money. So the best way to do that is to continue with that character being Tony Stark. Just reboot Tony Stark as young as you want him or whatever. I ain't saying like in a teenager or nothing, but you want to reboot him to where he can hang around a little bit longer. Then guess what? After that third person time's up, you reboot him. So if I said, like, I don't mind it. Like it was common sense. I said it before when they did Secret Wars. You got so many people. You already got Chris Evans that's been rumored that he don't want to come back. Scarlett Johansson don't want to come back. Robert Downey Jr. really didn't want to come back as Iron Man. He didn't mind coming back to the MCU, but he wanted to come back as Iron Man, which is why he came back as Doom. And so after a while, you got to move on from these people, but you want their stories to continue. Like they're gonna reboot these guys, they're gonna reboot Black Panther, they're gonna reboot whoever else. I think the only person he kind of named that he said that he could see coming back, of course, Fantastic Four. Yeah, Thor. And I think Fantastic Four is gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Because they're right around that age range or whatever. So, like, yeah, it's understandable. They're gonna reboot it because listen, they got a whole studio to worry about. That's all they do is Marvel stuff. So they're gonna have to reboot it to continue stories. And I think you're going here and make soap operas or nothing or lovey-dovey movies and nothing. They make comic book movies. So to make those comic book movies, you're gonna have to reboot it and start over and continue the story.
All right, can I throw this over? Because somebody said that the fans are smart enough to be trusted. So my thing is, so we talk about the characters that are established now, but did anybody know who Gamora was, who Nebula was before the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? No.
No, but
they made those characters because he introduced them and told a good story. If you introduce characters and tell good stories, they'll care about them. That's what you have to do with any of these movies. You can't just rely on, we got to keep making the same IP over and over again. There's probably 15,000 characters that they could choose from. Tell good stories and people will come to your movies. It's not, like I said, it ain't the superhero fatigue thing. It's you've been putting out bad product and people are tired of you putting out bad product.
I hear that. I agree with you. They probably should do that, right? But what's the main constant that's been going on with this new phase that they had, right? Their struggles is because they don't have a Tony Stark or an Iron Man. That's the main matter of fact. One of the main reasons why Falcon's movie had suffered because it was not Chris Evans, right? Like we can sit here and say like, yeah, they got 1,000 characters, and you're right, they do. But those 1,000 characters were built around two pillars of the MCU. So you need those pillars back to be successful. No matter, like I said, you don't not necessarily those two guys, but you need those two characters because now they're in the zeitgeist now. We know that these guys are the guys who this universe was built around. Now, what you could do is bring those guys back, and then you work your way into somebody else being there, right? Maybe a Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or whatever, right? I don't know who it could be, but it could be somebody else. But until then, you definitely need those pillars, which, like I said, when Robert Downey Jr. got announced coming back, the internet went crazy. Because they want those guys back in the MCU. Those were the two pillars of the MCU. Everything else gets built around those guys. No matter how much we like it or don't like it, that's just how it is.
Tell that to DC. See if they don't keep going until they get Superman right. Until they get Batman right. They won't be there. Like, they can go other places too.
Exactly.
Like what do we see though? With DC, once again, how many times have we seen Zod? It's just the same. DC is also falls into that where every time that there's a Superman movie, they pull out the exact same. This time's the first time you didn't see Zod. You saw Ultraman, which is probably going to be Brainiac. But other than that, every time they do the same iterations, they do the same things. And that's what the studios do. They fall into, we have to keep doing this. This worked 12 years ago. Let's do this, and everybody will get nostalgic about it instead of finding a different story and, like I said, expanding your story. If you're gonna do Superman, bring in those weird. That's why I like James Gunn because he brings in the characters nobody knows about, and he makes you care about them. But that was like nobody. The vast majority of people didn't know that there was multiple Green Lanterns. They only knew Hal Jordan. They didn't know about Guy Gardner or John
John
Stewart.
Stewart.
And so they didn't know there's other. So it's that kind of stuff that they need to do with the storytelling. Expand the universe, make it a real universe. Same thing I said with Star Wars. Make it a unit. You've got an entire universe to pull from. Stop telling the same story over and over again.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We've been on that train too, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
they made Star Wars into this one little planet. Everybody cousins and know each other. You know what I'm saying? So
Tatooine.
exactly. Everybody
Yeah.
everybody been to Tatooine. You done ran into somebody that you've already seen already in other movies or shows or whatever. So no, I agree
And
with
you
you,
still
man.
ain't gonna go too far without mentioning the Skywalker. It is what it is.
Or
They
Palpatine.
need someone. They need anchor bands. That's what they need. The Hollywood needs the
Yeah.
anchor beams to
That's
say
what it
that I'm
is.
gonna
You're
at least get this core guys around here, and then we can spread off after that.
But you know what? You know who proved all that wrong? Sinners. Because those are not it wasn't a pre-established IP, but it was a good story, and everybody went crazy for that story and watched it, and they want more. But like I said, you have to introduce new IP and new ideas and new characters, otherwise everything's stale. But people went crazy because oh boy told a good story,
But
and they
but hold on,
connected.
go back to
That's
go
a
back to
reach.
what
I ain't
BA
gonna lie,
just
bro.
said.
That's a reach, bro.
To go,
Yes,
but hold on, BJ.
eventually,
To go
every
back to
now
what
and then
BA
you're
just
gonna
said though,
have.
right?
But
You got Superman, and what does Superman help you do? It helped you introduce those characters so that you could get used to those guys, right? So you have to have that, like you said, you have to have that anchor. Now you got these other guys that you're able to introduce to the people. Now we
and
out
now
here
we
talking
want to
about
see a
Mr.
Mr.
Terrific.
Terrific movie.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I agree with you. They do need to do more because listen, we already know these comic book companies are vast. Like you said, James Gunn pulling out Polka Dot Man. I'm guaranteeing you, I can walk down the street right now and nobody gonna know who the heck Polka Dot. Well, didn't know who he was before that movie came out or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
no, you're right. I do agree with you, but for you to introduce those people, you have to have an anchor that everybody recognizes to bring you to that movie, and then you show those people. That's how I think they should be able to do it. But we can go on to the next one here. My bad. So Kevin Feige says Marvel talked about. Here we go. Marvel talked about switching from Kane to Doctor Doom before Jonathan Majors was convicted. It says in the interview with Deadline, Kevin Feige says Marvel discussed shifting Kane to Doctor Doom before Jonathan Majors' conviction. Even before even before what happened when Jonathan Majors, we had started realizing that Kane wasn't Thanos. We had started talking about Doctor Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kane. In fact, I had started talking with Robert about this idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. I'm gonna let y'all say something. I'm gonna say something. But BA, what you think about this one, bro?
You see my joint, right? You see that, right? Stop dissing Kang. We
Bruh.
gotta stop this. We gotta stop this Kang slander. It's feeling very Kobe-escent right now. Like it's got to stop
Facts.
eventually.
It's gotta stop.
So I mean, let's talk facts here, right? Can he say that they were talking about it? Yes,
Before
they
conviction.
could have had a conversation. Hey, Doom's around the corner, right? So obviously, Doom is the next stage point, the
Big
next
bad.
level when it comes to the big bad. Like obviously, he's going to be eventually talked about, especially once you got the Fantastic Four. Like, yes, Doctor
Right.
Doom is coming. He is like one of the baddest villains of all time. Like, duh, right? So we can say that yes, he plays semantics with that. Now, is anything in the movies that gives you credence of, well, maybe this is actually true? Like maybe he did talk to Robert Downey Jr. about this. The only thing that I can see, and once I did my YouTube research and things, was the scene in Endgame in which he was talking to his father, right? And they was on the
Oh
military.
yeah.
And he said, so who the flowers for? And he said, my wife, she's pregnant. Oh, how far along is she? Right. He was asking those questions in a sense, like something's not adding up. Maybe that's not my birth date, so on and so forth. Like something is not there. So then that leads you to think, well, maybe he's adopted. If he is adopted, well, who is he really? Who is his parent? So on and so forth. Is he really the current version of Marvel's Victor Von Doom, he just changed his name to Tony Stark. Those things can get flushed out. So maybe they planted the seed in that movie to address it later on, but this is stretching now. This is just all conjecture.
that's
Like, if that's really it. So at the end of the day, they pretty much hated on Kang. Yes, he's not Thanos. Why? Because you introduced him, and then after you introduced him, you made him lose a thousand of ants. Like, yes, he's not going to be Thanos. It's crazy for you to even think that. So you should have flushed that out a little bit more. You should have had Ant-Man lose. Everyone was going to that movie. See, everybody was going into that movie realizing that Ant-Man was going to lose this battle. There would not have been a shot if Ant-Man lost. Like, oh my God. The shocker was the fact that Kang lost to a bunch of ants. That was the shocker. That was a surprise. No one was going to guarantee that part. So the fact that he says this, he's just backtracking, he's covering himself, and he's just trying to say, like, hey, we was planning on this. It wasn't Jonathan Majors and what he did. No, because he was great in Loki. He was great. Even in Loki season 2, when he had multiple characters to do with, he was great as Victor Tomlin and everybody. He was great. So it's not Jonathan Majors. It's not Kang himself. It's what y'all did in Ant-Man in the Quantum Realm or whatever, and y'all made him a subpar villain, and now you didn't get the hype that you were supposed to get. You did that. That was your fault.
What you think, Cuz?
I co-sign. Co-sign. Come on, Kevin. It's us. It's us. You ain't got a lot to kick it with us.
You got a lot.
It's like, we're going to be out here to see your films. You ain't got a lot to kick it. And like you said, the next big bad was going to be Dr. Doom. Like, it was going to have to happen. But yeah, they didn't do Kang any favors from the TV shows and the movies. They didn't treat him as the big bad of that period. So of course he can't be Thanos if you don't set him up as Thanos, as someone that's been the master manipulator, being able to be in these different areas, these different times, these different situations. They didn't give him that. The only time they did, yes, was Loki, and then outside of that, he wasn't that big of a threat. So yes, y'all failed creating him as Thanos, when we all know you have this. If you go into the source material, you can see how big bad he is. Like, that was so frustrating. Is you have the source material to be able to make this guy as Thanos, and actually bigger than Thanos, just from being able to go from time to time. But yeah, they failed Kang. Kang didn't fail them. They failed him. So, but yeah, Kevin, you ain't got a lot to kick it though. That's all I got.
What you got, Big J? Don't be defending Kevin Feige, man.
Well, no. So, no, what I was gonna say. So, honestly, I believe that. I think it was really the strength of Jonathan Majors' performance in Loki that made them decide to, because I think they wanted to have a big bad. And they said he was good enough and he stood out enough to make him the big bad. I think they pivoted to him because when they first started trying to think of the next Avengers movie, they didn't have the ability to use Doctor Doom yet, because remember, this was supposed to happen a couple of years ago, and even after the buyout in 2017, there was like I think a 5-year period where they could not do a movie either without using the same actors because of contracts. They had to let all those expire before they could start writing the new stuff. So all those characters they couldn't touch yet until now, which is why they started to work them in. But I think that was the thing. So I think when they were going to go ahead and have this movie come out, they was like, oh, what can we do? And I think they saw, okay, he did good. Let's make him the big bad and let's gear everything toward him. But then, like I said, they tried to make it a Secret Wars, but I'm like, well, Kang wasn't the main dude in Secret Wars. It was Doom, because Doom's the one that killed the Beyonder. Then there was the thought of, well, what if we make Kang get the powers of the Beyonders? And once again, I think that's kind of what messed everything up. They tried to go too far when they made Kang. Instead of even making a Kang story, they tried to shoehorn Kang into a Doom story. And then they were like, well, this ain't going to work. Let's get back off of it and go back to Doom. Because I think enough time passed to get back to the point where they could just switch back to Doom.
Listen, bro. Let me say this. Would any of y'all been mad? But first of all, I don't think any of us would have are mad at Bob Iger and them in the situation that they were in with the whole Kang situation, right? We already know what caused all that, right? Bob Chapek. We understand that. So if they were to come out and say, look, we botched this, this is our bad, this is on us. We're trying to correct this. We feel like we did not do our due diligence with Kang. So we're gonna move on to X character or whatever. I don't think anybody would have been mad at him, right? Because we understand that whole Bob Chapek regime was trash. We get it.
Yeah.
The mandates that y'all had to meet and all that stuff, man, just throwing anything out there or whatever. Because listen, I think I heard something. BJ, you probably heard about this. The fact that they said originally Kang was supposed to beat Ant-Man. They said Ant-Man and Wasp was supposed to lose in that movie. They went back, did the reshoots and all that stuff, and then that's what we got the ending that we got. And I like y'all was saying, I remember like telling my wife this. I'm like, yo, this dude Kang, when they said that Kang was gonna be the next bad of the phase or whatever, I said, bro, listen, this dude ain't nothing. This is real right here. You thought Thanos was crazy? Like, this dude can manipulate time. He's in and out of time. He's damn near eternal because his like we saw in the Loki series. You kill one of them and the cycle just starts right back over, and there's another Kang taking his spot. And so they had so many opportunities, like you said, because you got this straight from the source. You are Marvel. How do you botch something like this, bro? The source material is right there in front of you. How do you botch this? Like, I don't know who went in there and said, you know what, him losing to some ants. That's it right there. I like
That's
that.
It right there.
Who said that?
That's the ball right there. Son.
Yeah, that's the part right there, bro. That's gonna make a killing right here. Like, wait, what? Listen. I remember we talked about that. I think me exactly. I think me and Cuz talked about it, man. And I was like, the first, like before we saw the movie and all that stuff, we predicted what's gonna happen. I said that before. I said, bro, what's gonna probably end up happening that they're gonna lose to him, and it's gonna start a chain reaction where things at time are changing because of Kang. It is gonna lead up to. Remember, at that time they're supposed to be doing Kang Dynasty or whatever. So everything was gonna lead up to Kang Dynasty. That was what I was thinking. But then also, like you said, we get him lose to some ants. Then you see his different variants in Loki. So people see how he's acting and everything. Like, yeah, to us, we know what their roles are or whatever, right? We see good performance and all that stuff. But the people, like I said, my wife, they watching this and they're looking at him like, hey, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there telling, like, no, but I'm telling you, this dude is he ain't nothing to play with. Okay. Like, I can only you want to go by what I could tell you, but you don't see that on the screen. With Thanos, but when he first showed up, all he had to do was turn his head and smile. You already knew what time it was. You're like, oh man, hold on, this guy might be something serious. Or you seen him at the end of Guardians going to that locker and get that gauntlet. You already know what time it was. He had to do nothing. You just seen him on the screen doing one little thing. Oh man, hold on.
What was the first thing that Thanos did in the movie?
When he turned his head,
just turn and smile. Yeah, turn and smile.
No, not the little end credits or nothing like. When he was officially in the movie. What did he do?
When he whipped up on the Hulk.
Oh, okay. So we got that versus Kang losing to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
How can we justify that?
Exactly.
And the crazy part about it is, like, after that movie, I was literally sitting there. I think we talked about it because I was sitting there trying to think, like, how are you going to fix that?
Yeah.
Because now you got a lot of people. Like you could say there's other variants that are stronger or whatever, but it's like but we see you as Kang. You're Kang. No matter if there's a million of you, you're Kang, right? And so I'm just sitting there like, bro, y'all just damaged the dude's reputation off of this one movie. Like I said, when when they announced he was gonna be an Ant-Man, I was like, I wasn't sure about that. Like, I don't know how he gonna beat Kang. Kang gonna probably end up beating him. Like I said, it's gonna lead all the way up to the first Avengers, which will be Kang Dynasty, but.
Well, you know what happened though. So a couple things. So so they had to put him in Quantumania. That's how they introduced him into the quantum realm because
the quantum realm.
And
that made sense.
In the cartoons.
That made sense.
In the cartoons he was in the Microverse, but Microverse is owned by Micro Machines, and they didn't have the rights to it, so that's why they couldn't use it, and so they switched over to the Quantumverse. But actually, in the original version, I believe. Both Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang were supposed to die.
Yeah.
And Catherine Cassie Lang was going to basically be the new Stature. She was going to take over Stature as part of the new Avengers. but they said that I guess the test audiences didn't like him dying, so they went back and redid it. And I was like, that's you know you have to let the loss has to stick, and that could have been something for them
Thank you.
to avenge. They could have had something to
Thank
avenge. She could have
Mhm.
Cassie could have came back and warned, oh no, this dude just killed my dad, and the
bro.
Wasp and all that, and it got everybody like
Just
she could have been the
imagine,
one to
BJ,
tell.
that impact in that first movie, right? This supposed to be the first
Yeah.
movie of the multi saga, whatever, right? The multiverse saga. That first movie out the gate, like BA
Yeah.
just said, when we
Put
saw
that in
what Thanos
Avengers.
did in that movie, in that scene, we're talking about a whole entire movie in the first movie of the saga. You hit him with that impact. You like, yo, that right there would have folks think like, yo, okay, hold on. This dude ain't nothing to play with, man. Like, who is this guy? Now everybody knows. Then you go back, you watch the shows and everything. They kind of link you to the other variants, but you know for a fact this main dude right here that was in the movies, it's a guy that we need to look out for. From the very first movie in this saga, he came out and already taking cats out. Because remember, him even saying that to Scott was like, now which one of you? You the one with the hammer? Because I killed him or
But they
whatever. The
said
guy
it
with the shit or whatever.
and they didn't show it.
That's what I was about to
Yes,
They
say.
yes.
Should have showed it.
if they would have showed that, I would have been slightly okay with how they ended it because you know what he's
And you know what?
capable of at least. They didn't even show it. They talked
But yeah,
about
you know what? When you say show, you talking about like the flashback of him actually doing it,
it. Yes.
or you talking about him showing it in that? Yeah, see what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with you.
See that's how they should have introduced him. They should have showed him defeating the Avengers in another world and then
Another
getting stuck in the quantum realm, and then that would have been his introduction. Like somehow he had to get away, but then and like I said at the end of the movie, maybe even if you have him die, have the whole respawn type thing where he comes right back basically and is ready to go again. But they like I said they blew it and they had to pivot off of it, but it could have been way better because like I said they people talk about Kang was not Thanos. Kang is whatever you want. He's whatever you write him out to be. Like as every comic book person knows, every writer makes him as bad, as strong, as weak as you want him to be because it's whatever story you have to tell. So you could have made him come in like I said, wreck and shop from the beginning,
Yep,
or you could have had him get beat up by a bunch of ants. And they chose the latter. You know,
bro. I'm telling you, just imagine if they had started that first movie, like you said, originally how they started it out, where they were gonna kill Ant-Man and Wasp or whatever. Because mention once the last Avengers came out, everything was gonna reset anyway. So they come back to life. It's just the fact that at that time that would have been an impact. You're like, yo, what in the world? Hold on. He already killing main characters off from the jump. Like, yo, okay, this dude ain't nothing to mess with or whatever, right? And they didn't do that. So now you guys looking like a laughing stock because y'all beat up. That's the punchline now. Everybody talks about him getting beat up by ants. It's like, come on, man. You watered the dude down, bro. It's not definitely not the Kang from the comics. I'll tell you that. But let's see what we got next here, y'all. Kevin Feige confirms Secret Wars is planned to reset singular timelines and reboot the MCU. We just talked about this pretty much. Interview timeline. Kevin Feige confirms Avengers Secret Wars is planned to reset the singular timeline and reboot the MCU. So check this out, y'all. The current MCU plans is 7 years long. I think it's going into 2032. So I'm gonna say something too about that here in a second, but let me get y'all's opinion on it. What you think about this, cuz?
That's I mean, it tracks with them wanting to start to introduce characters, introduce Fantastic Four, X-Men, get your Doom going. Yeah, that makes sense to be able to do that because once you um flip over, you have you have a much shorter window. It'd be what, right around 4 years, right around 4 years that till after you reset to you have like a 4 years left of it as far as your plan. So, but that's also good that they also have this type of plan because this is getting back to what we've known the MCU for is to have that window further out. But it will be interesting to see how they do this since they have shortened the amount of shows and movies that they're putting out. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they flesh out these stories really well. So that's what's going to be interesting. Long window, short product or a smaller number of products. It's going to be really interesting, but it does give them an opportunity to put better product out there than what they have been during your boy
JPEG.
Chick Pick
Yeah,
time
man.
frame. So.
BJ said BJ said get his CEO's name right though. Don't mess
my
it
bad,
up,
my
man.
bad.
Nah,
But
what you
no,
think though, BJ? What you think, man?
Like I said, I am concerned. I understand the thought of they want to do more quality versus quantity, but I think there's ways to do both. And being that they've split Marvel TV off from Marvel Studios, I think that if you do what they said, which is get showrunners to do the shows,
Mm-hmm.
introduce major characters in the movies, and then have them flesh out their backstory in a show where people have already seen them now in a movie, and they've been introduced to them in a movie in a theatrical sense, and then you can get more detail if you want to in the show, but it's not required because you already know who that person is now because you were introduced to them in the movie. Then they can come back and then keep it moving. If they did that, where you're still giving us 2 to 3 shows a year, but once again, with independent showrunners working with the movie producers to make sure that the continuity was right, it would make sense. They're trying to pivot too far where we're gonna give you one live action show a year and 2 movies a year. Then I think you're gonna kind of starve out the content because once again, you saw what they're doing over at DC now. He's talking about cranking out how many movies basically as soon as they get a
Like
good script.
3 and 2, I think.
Yeah.
And he says as soon as you get the
and one animation.
Mm-hmm.
in one animation, yeah. So what you think of BA?
Big J is 100% correct. If they go this slow, they're gonna DC's gonna catch them. And they had like a 10-year head start. And I don't think Kevin Feige really wants that. He cannot want that. Like that cannot be good for the shareholders and everything else. This is not wrestling where you have WWF at that time versus WCW, and let's say you're gonna have a better product, and both was excellent. Nah, this is not gonna work this way. Fans will eventually, the people, the average person, people that don't have that much money, things like that, they're gonna start to choose like I'm more interested in this product than the other product, so on and so forth. So they have to do a little bit more. They have to get away to me. For me, the TV show, if they're gonna do one TV show, we already know it's dead though. So they got to do somebody else, something else.
Yeah.
So I think the thing they just need to do, they need to have, like BJ also was saying, that you need to have people designed to run TV shows. TV shows are not like movies. I hate when they do this is like an extended big movie, and then they just break up the movie. No, that's not. It's not a TV show. TV show has its ups and downs every episode, and certain things leads to other episodes, so on and so forth. So I don't like that. I don't like that motto. They have done that for a couple of them films, their TV shows. So I just think that they need to just have better quality, better content, and find a Kevin Feige for TV. They need a overall Kevin Feige just for TV, and then he then reports to the real Kevin Feige, and say like, this is what we're doing. Who do you have next for me to try to flush out? Like once again, BJ would say, Ironheart is an example. They just took too long to come out with the TV show. Had it came out maybe like the same year as Black BP2, then it'd be like, oh yeah, I saw her in that, right? Oh yeah. Well, we just saw her. Let's check her out. You can get those viewers versus who was she again? She was in what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Nah, that's okay. I ain't like that. You don't want that. So, and that was a pretty decent series, right? We all talked about it. So. Yes, I agree. This whole thing of just slowing everything down, no, that's not the case. Y'all had WandaVision and Loki in the same year, and that was great. Winter Soldier and Falcon would have been great, but y'all changed what y'all wanted to do because of the virus, right? It was supposed to be about a virus first. That was the main thing in that show, but it was the pandemic, so they had to pivot off of that. Like, no, that would have been great if they would have kept the original script. So no, the number of shows isn't the problem; it's the quality, and they just have to expand on that. Just don't give me one TV show, man. I'm gonna forget about it.
Nah, I hear what y'all saying too, man. Listen, the thing too is the fact that a lot of the issues that we're having with Marvel, they're kind of working their way out of. We just saw 2 good movies in a row, right? They're working their
Yeah.
way out of it. I think the last movie, part of that Chapek stench was that Captain America movie. That's the last one, I believe. So they're trying to work their way back to what made Marvel, right? And
Yeah.
kind of what y'all was saying about the mandates and all that stuff. This is over Kevin Feige's head. This is from Bob Iger. He's the one who said he wanted to cut the production down because he felt like he wants you to kind of like what Kevin Feige was doing before we got Disney Plus, right? He's able to put his full attention to each of those movies that's coming out because these are really the only things you have to worry about, right? Because it was anywhere from 2 to 3 movies tops a year, so it was easier for him to give more attention to those movies when it's only 2 or 3 movies a year, and that's it. So now that he's literally over everything Marvel, like y'all were just saying, Winterbaum is the guy who's over television. So he does answer to Kevin Feige or whatever, right? So they have a guy. I think, like you said, I've always said when people start bringing up that fatigue thing, I don't think it's anything about the fatigue. We're just tired of bad product. That's what it is. So, like y'all said, give a little bit more detail. Like you said, what you need to do, what Kevin Feige needs to do, is get him a group of guys that he can trust, right, to oversee these different projects. Now, I'm not saying go out here and give me 7 movies and like 5 shows, and I'm not saying that. But you see what DC's doing, right? You see like 3 movies, 2 shows. I'm not mad at that. So you do something like that, that's a little bit more manageable than what y'all were doing. Because at one point, I think we had like 4 movies at one point, didn't we? In 1 year or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Crazy. So you can still do that, still have your quality and all that stuff, but just have like you said, BA, have guys overseeing these things that you can trust. Now, of course, they still come to Kevin Feige or whatever. That's fine. But you still have these guys you can oversee, guys you've been working with for a while who have that pedigree to know what great quality of content is. Do that. Keep it to 3 or 2. 3 and 2 is not bad. You know what I'm saying? That way you fill out the whole entire year between the movies and the shows. That gives you Marvel content all year long right there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing what y'all say 2 and 1 or whatever. Because like you said, then people gonna be starving for that. But hey, if they do 2 and 1 and the quality is the best quality we ever seen in our lives, I'm not mad. But if you ask me on the surface, I'm saying, yeah, give me my 3 and my 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. But anything I want to add to that? Anything else?
I was going to say that they do have a talent base that they can pull from. But like I said, they have to go to that showrunner format. Like everybody like Werewolf by Night, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know? Y'all remember who directed Werewolf by Night?
No.
It was Michael Giacchino, the guy that did the soundtrack for Fantastic Four, and the guy who made the Marvel. Because he's never been a director, but they gave him a movie, a show, and he ran with it. It's stuff like that they can do. Like what they really need to do is, like I said, do 3 movies, 2 shows, and probably 2 special presentations.
2 specials.
Because a special presentation is like a mini movie. It doesn't need the full budget. And once again, those are things you can flesh out with some of your side characters that you introduce, so they could have more story and build your world through that kind of stuff. Because that's how you can introduce a whole bunch of stuff that like I said, but it's characters that have already been established in the movies, but then go off and do like a little side quest, and then you come back and you can add more people through the special presentations or the TV shows.
I'm not mad at it, bro. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, let's go and see what we got up next, man. So check this out. Kevin Feige says they are not allowed to bring Miles Morales into the MCU yet. All right. There's an interview with Variety. Kevin Feige reveals Marvel Studios has been told to hold off on adapting Miles Morales in a live action until Spider-Verse trilogy is complete. We've been told to stay away. What you think about this, BJ?
I mean, it makes sense. I think the goal right now is for them to let Tom Holland finish his contract with the next 3 movies that he's supposed to do. And then as he ages out, introduce Miles Morales. And once again, that's another thing you can do. Bring in Miles Morales as the new Spider-Man and start with him. And then you could come back and do another, but do another Peter Parker at some point. But like I said, that way you could do 10 years of Miles Morales stories if you wanted to. Making Miles Morales movies, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So you saying if Miles Morales is Spider-Man, don't have a Peter Parker, just let him be Spider-Man?
You can't, like I said, you can have both, but the thing is, so once again, if you
that might confuse the people because both of the names are Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, but if you introduce him, like I said, if you do kind of like you did in Spider-Verse, where if what's his name, Tom Holland is 35 years old, and they decide let's go ahead and kill him off, then you can bring in Miles. But then that's the thing, you can't mix it and let's bring Spider-Man right back in, because
Right.
that would be confusing people if you lost the Spider-Man in your universe, and then you've got Miles as a new Spider-Man, and like I said, you could tell, like I said, you could run that Miles Spider-Man for 10 years, and all of a sudden, at that point, reboot your whole series. Hopefully, by that time, the rights have reverted back to Marvel and Disney, and we could all be happy. But there's stuff that's that's something they could do to where you don't confuse the people, you hand it off logically, and you keep the story going.
Okay. What you got, BA?
Yeah, the timeline makes sense. That's why they're not. I don't think they're too worried about if this into the Spider Verse actually comes out, the one that we're waiting for. Like, they got pushed back to 2027, right? If I'm not mistaken. So you still got 3 more movies. Well, let's say 2 more movies after this one, right? After the next upcoming
Right.
Spider-Man movie. So you do have time to flush this out. So we're not necessarily saying that we want to see him. Do we want to see him? Yes. But can we wait a little bit? Yeah, we can wait a little bit too at the same time, because we still have Tom Holland, and we haven't gotten the authentic Peter Parker story yet. Like, we're still waiting for
We're getting close.
Yeah, man.
yeah. So this movie should be it, right? So then he gotta grow up, and then if he gotta have kids and things like it's Peter Parker ain't Peter Parker yet. We just got like this multiverse version of Peter Parker. Like, so they have time. It's no rush. Do I want to see Miles Morales? Yes. Do I want to? Hopefully he gets a little bit more shine. But if he can't be in the movies, can't be in the movies. It is what it is. So I'm okay with waiting.
What think we could?
I think it's BS. They keep pushing it back.
Man.
Nah, I'm okay with it. I agree with BA. It's okay to be patient with it. We're on the verge of having this Spider-Man we've been begging for, the actual neighborhood Spider-Man. The grounded, the going around actually saving the people around the neighborhood. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm okay with it because, like I said, we have the chance of having a grounded Spider-Man. We have a chance to see Dr. Negative. It'll be a new formation of a Sinister Six, but it's still intriguing. So possibility, allegedly. But it's a possibility. So I'm okay with waiting. We've had to wait a long time for each into the Spider-Verse, so let's keep it rolling. And they've introduced some type of news drawing style or just animation style with it with each of the new movies. So I'm okay with it. They're going to introduce something new that we haven't seen before, and it's going to blow us away. So it's okay. I'll be patient.
See, y'all missed the key thing here, y'all.
So
They said that no, this, you know what this tells me? That this whole partnership with Sony and Marvel gonna be around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
If you're saying that they're gonna have these 2 movies, right? I mean, well, 3, technically 3. You got these 3 movies, and you're talking about introducing them after the 3 movies and after Spider-Verse is over with, right? That tells me that they're gonna have this partnership with Sony for a while. So we're gonna be seeing Spider-Man here in the MCU whenever they reboot it and all that. Yeah, he's gonna be here for a while. So that's a good thing for me. I don't mind, man. Like I said, because so y'all saying have him in there as a replacement of Peter.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be as I don't know if they'll be as bold
in their time.
You said what, BA?
I'm about to say I'm not 100% for that. I don't mind them sharing the screen.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. I don't want them to kill him off.
Of it.
Yeah, like I don't want them to kill him off, bro. Cause then how you gonna bring him back? There's not gonna be any more of that multiverse stuff, right? Unless, like you said, unless they at that point they reboot the whole thing over again and they introduce. Maybe they do it that way. You might be right, but yeah, I would want them to share the screen and have him.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would want that. But listen, if they were to go that route where he is the Spider-Man and there's no more Peter Parker, I mean, it is what it is too. I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but if you're asking me right now, I would want them both to be on the screen together.
yeah.
Oh man, here we
You know
go,
what
y'all.
that
This is
do?
the
Real
interesting
quick,
one.
real quick, real quick. You know what would be
Yeah,
dope?
yeah. Go ahead.
If let's say that Spider-Man is working with his father for the next couple movies.
Oh, ooh,
Like he's making
okay.
he's pretty much like a outside a third character, not necessarily a secondary
Right.
character, but just
Yeah.
he runs into him multiple times instead of just like one off, just a few times, where as though we can kind of see the fact that
Like
his father
know,
is trying to do good, especially if it's street
yeah.
level and things like that. Like he's really trying to make a
Mhm.
impact in the community and stuff like that. And he mentions his son, but necessarily not. He ain't got a name drop enough. He can just say, "Yeah, my son is
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to do right, so on and so forth." That will be a nice little underlining thing, and then boom, once they have the final, cool. Now we seeing whatever like that. Hey, let me introduce you to my son. Boom, there
If
you
you
go.
know, you know.
That'd be
Yeah.
great. They ain't gonna do it though.
There will be. Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Nah, not at all.
Right.
We
Let's
do.
check this out, y'all. Let me see if I can put this up here. All right, man. So Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige confirms that the new Blade movie will focus on modern day. So supposedly there is going to still be a Blade movie. Interview with Deadline, Kevin Feige confirms that Blade movie will now take place in the modern day, making a change from the early plans. There's been 4 versions of Blade, and they finally decided on a take set in the modern day. We don't just want to put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires. Eric Pearson is currently writing the script. The guy who did Fantastic Four First Steps and Thunderbolts is also penning the script for Blade. Good, what do you think, bro? Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah,
uh,
get your
nah,
moment.
I'm gonna wait. No. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
We gotta have a trailer. Once we get a
Okay.
trailer, then I'm gonna say it. But I am happy that they have a legit plan. I'm happy that they have a someone that will pen the script for what they want. So this is now these steps are starting to get positive. Uh, so the next thing that I want to know is, will Blade be the star of his movie, or will they try to put somebody else at the star? Because remember, they had that was one of the issues early on, was that they wanted somebody else to be the star or
Like
be
your
the
daughter or something.
be the lead. To say, well, then don't call it Blade then. That doesn't make any sense. But it's finally steps in the right direction. But I'm not going to say anything other than that. What I got?
Okay. Okay. What up, Big J? What's on your mind, man?
I mean, like I said, I'm glad they got him. The only thing they need to get is a director because I didn't mind the Thunderbolts. I thought it was a good movie, so that means he knows how to write a good script. I think they need, like I said, I wouldn't have
Whoa, wait,
minded if
hold on, Big J. Why you didn't get Fantastic Four else, bro? You
we
saw the
ain't seen it yet. So I mean, I can't talk about how good it is if I ain't seen. I can tell you what other people say. I don't know, but I'm going by the Thunderbolts because I've seen Thunderbolts and I liked it.
Okay.
But and like I said, I still say you got to get the right director on board. I still think if the director's working with the writer and they do something like I said, they get like that Chad Stahelowski or somebody like that who he's petitioned himself multiple times. The guy that did the John Wick, the first movies,
Yeah,
get
I
him
thought.
involved.
Well, I thought that was a shoe in, but
Well, and they said that he attributes Kevin Feige for helping him get started in Hollywood, so he wants to do it. He said he'd love to do it, and he could do it cheap, which that's the thing. Like John Wick was done on a real cheap budget, so if you can do that, then that makes a whole lot of sense. Where it's a win-win. Everybody wants to see it. It'll sell a ton of merch, and the movie probably make if the movie makes 400, 500,000. I mean, 500 million, it's still a win if you have a budget of like 45 or 50 million instead of
Right.
270. That's how you make profitable movies, and that's what they should be happy with. But and like I
facts.
said, that could spin off your Midnight Suns, and you could bring back Mephisto and all the rest of the stuff that we want to see.
I agree. Which thing, BA?
So now they want to do the James Gunn approach and make sure they got a great script before they greenlight a movie. Oh man. Okay.
Better late than
Right.
never.
Right. So
Oh,
they just
yeah.
gonna choose Blade. At this point, they're gonna have to reboot the Mashal Ali. And he ain't even play yet. He ain't even do it yet. Like just reboot him
He
too.
started.
Might as well.
You said Gambit? My bad. Go
He's
ahead.
he's signed on at 45. The man is like 51 now. Like by the time the movie's gonna be made, he's gonna be pushing 55. Then it's 60.
Yeah.
And we know Blade, but you can't have Blade totally CGI. That's not going to work. He's going to have some kind of martial arts back. He's going to have to do some of the stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Wesley did set the bar, so we're not going to necessarily say that he could be the next Wesley because Wesley really knew how to really fight. But you got to get close, So that's one front. The second front is, if I would have told you, I got a Blade, I just saw the Blade movie before anybody else seen it, and guess what? He was in his leather outfit and he killed a lot of vampires. You'd be like, yo, sign me up. So the thing that they're trying to avoid is the thing that we want to see. We want to see Blade in a movie kick ass. That's what we want to see. This ain't, we ain't got to stretch this out too far. That's what we want to see. But okay, so you got your boy Eric, and he did a great job with Thunderbolts. We're gonna see what he's gonna do with Fantastic Four, but at the end of the day, mofos, they trying to ice skate uphill, man.
All right, can I make one statement in reference to your ageism?
Sure.
Keanu Reeves, how old do you think he is?
He in the 60s.
He's 60.
Yeah.
About to be 61 now. We've seen him in the John Wick. He's been doing John Wick, and even at 60, he still is believable fighting.
That is
he's been getting
Hmm?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say as time went on, Big J, he been fighting less and less.
Blade can be doing a lot of shooting. I mean, Wesley did a lot of shooting too. You know what I'm saying?
Wesley did a lot of kicks too. He sure did a lot of kicks.
Not that last one. That last time you saw Wesley ain't lift his leg up.
You said Steven Seagal? You said Steven Seagal?
Can't kick past his knee.
No, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm glad y'all happy. I really am, cuz I'm glad you're excited. I know you got the cake in the freezer. You better pull it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating. Listen, man. I told you I'm treating it just like Star Wars, bro.
Yeah.
I need to see a trailer.
Yeah.
They can sit here and say they got the director, they can show me set photos, all that. I do not care. I need to see a trailer before I believe this. I think BA, you sent us something in the group the other day. It's been 6 years, y'all. I want y'all to think about that. 6 years since they announced that they were coming out with a Blade movie. That's crazy. Like you said, this dude is past 50 now. We were just sitting there talking about them rebooting the universe and going younger. Now, what's going to end? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He's going to be part of the new universe going forward. They're after the reboot. After both Avengers movies and all that, then it's when they're going to come out with the Blade movie. So let's just say, when does that come out? Next year? Doomsday comes out next year. And then Secret Wars come out the year after that. So what's that, 27?
27.
So let's just, I'm going to say Blade might not come out until maybe 29. He's 51 right now. That's 4 years. Like you said, that's damn near 60 years old, bro. He gonna need a lot of stunt doubles for this movie, bro. Like a lot of his fight scene, they got to show him from the back angle, bro. So that way you can have if they had a fight person in there or whatever. The stunt double
that's just the first movie.
Yes. Yeah. You don't let it be good. They want to make a trilogy. Like, what are you talking about? You about to get rebooted after your first movie, bro. Exactly, bro. You about to be 71 out here fighting vampires, bro. What are we doing?
They're gonna make 3 movies back to back to back. That's what they're gonna do,
bro. They better film it back to back.
Film it all together,
like an Avenger movie, bro. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I hope, you know what? Cause I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I really do. But other than that, bro, I need to see a trailer. I'm sorry. I need to see a trailer. I've been heard this same song and dance for the last 6 years, bro. We still ain't.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. got announced as Doom 2 years after they announced Mahershala Ali as Blade, and we about to see Downey Jr. as Doom next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But check this out, y'all. We got a couple more. Kevin Feige says recent Marvel movies flopped because they require too much homework. I think we kind of talked about this before, cuz. So check this out. In an interview with Variety, Kevin Feige says he believes recent movies have flopped at the box office because they require too much Marvel homework. Some audience were still feeling the notion of, I guess I had to have seen these other shows to understand who this is, i.e. the Marvels. We talked about that. But what you think about that, BA?
I'm sorry, I thought she was telling me a bunch of BS just now. I believe we all just saw Superman, correct?
Yep.
And they didn't have not near backstory for nobody. It was the first movie of the new DC, correct? And
Yes,
they
sir.
had about 4 to 5 characters in this movie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had about 4 to 5 characters, if not 6 characters in this movie, and the movie went great. Okay, understood. Got to get the homework thing. Okay, let's see. Oh, I don't mean to bring up another James Gunn project, but like Big Jake said earlier, we didn't know nobody. Well, the average person didn't know anybody from Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't know not
No.
near person. And the movie went great. Hell,
Yep.
he even brought up Sinners, a whole new IP. Movie went great. Okay, understood. Just make a great movie. I don't need to do the homework. I don't need to see the homework. If anything, if the movie is great, if the movie is
It make
spectacular,
you go back and watch it.
what am I going to do? Go
Love it,
back
yeah.
and see what they was talking about. Where did this come from? Why did they do
Facts.
this in this movie? Why did this person have this power? Why did this? Oh, let me go
Yep.
back and watch that. There should be an uptick in the other stuff. Why? Because that's what a great movie does. Superman.
You said Superman?
Why did Man of Steel get an uptick in sales, in views? Because the one that just came out was that great. And this is not rocket science. Kevin Feige, I appreciate you talking. I appreciate you getting the views and what we're doing here, like the content creations and all that. I appreciate you reverting back to Marvel instead of all the love being around DC. Okay, great. You did a great job of that. But 30 to 40% of what you was saying in that interview was straight BS. And this goes towards it. That's just my opinion.
Facts, bro. Facts. What you got, Big J?
No, I mean I agree. I think, like we said before, I mean if you put out quality, it's not homework. It only feels like homework when you put out subpar product, and I got to go chore and labor through what you put out. But if you put out something good, like BA just said, everybody watched Andor. As soon as Andor was over, I went back and watched
Yep.
Rogue One again. So I was like,
Yep.
all right, back to back. I even went back and watched Andor season 1 again because I was like, man. So, like I said, good product will make you watch more good product. It might make you watch something that's not as good, but because you want to be back in that universe.
Facts.
So
Facts.
it's not about, like I said, it's not about fatigue. It's just about bad product fatigue. Give us good products, and we'll give you our money. That's how it works.
That part.
I mean, but agree, bro. What you think, cuz?
I think this is him trying to justify them cutting back on TV shows and overall content. I think that's what that statement was. Struggle because of all the had to do homework. So to keep y'all from having to do homework, we're going to be putting out less content. So then it would be much easier for you all. I think that's what the statement was for them to justify not justifying the 2-1. That's what the statement was.
Listen, if that's the case, then right, I think we all know after seeing Daredevil, there's nothing in Daredevil that links him to the overall story of what's going on with the MCU, right?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it that way, if you feel like you don't want folks to be doing the homework and everything, man, keep it separate. You know what I'm saying? They're still part of the MCU, like kind of like what they were doing with Daredevil. He mentioned certain things like Miss Marvel and all that. She been in the movies and all that stuff. You can mention them or whatever, but you don't have to make them part of the overarching story. So that way people don't have to feel like they got to go back and wow, man, I got to watch Daredevil so that way I can know what's going on in Secret Wars or whatever, right? And so if you're gonna do it that way, if you're gonna keep it separate, it's still part of the MCU. Just keep their story and what affects them separate from the overall or overarching story. If you're gonna do it that way, right? But no, I agree with y'all said though. It's the quality. Because like you just said, BA, as soon as Superman was over with, bro, I went back and watched Creature Commandos again. I told you I've been watching the Superman animated show. I watched Man of Steel. You know what I'm saying? So that makes you want to go back and watch it. Like I remember, like my sister, for example, she don't really not into the movies and stuff. Like she asking me and cuz all the time about certain things. She'll watch something and like, okay, now she might like that certain thing, and then she'll go back to the shows or whatever, and then she'll watch it to kind of get an idea of how that connected with the movie or whatever. And so that's like you said, that's what's gonna make the people do that, man. But it's all about the quality, bro. I don't think because you put out, yeah, exactly. It's not about you constantly just putting out a lot of it. That a lot is it good? You know what I'm saying? So I agree with y'all on that one. Then we got this last one here, y'all. Check this out. It says Kevin Feige confirms Moon Knight and the Eternals will return in future MCU movies. Now I don't know if that's after this phase or whatever, or they talk about they're gonna be in some one of these movies coming up real soon. We don't know, so we're gonna find out. But it says in an interview with Variety, Kevin Feige confirms post Endgame characters like Moon Knight and Eternals will return to the MCU in the future projects. Yes, that is part of the plan. Characters we've introduced post Endgame will pop up again in some of the upcoming movies and beyond. So I think that answers our question. I think because we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Will we see? I think Big J was on the show. We talked about it too. We talked about the fact: are they going to? We got end credits that still ain't been answered. I think Big J always brings up Pip and Star Fox. We still ain't had that answered or whatever. We haven't heard anything about Moon Knight. Like we heard rumors about them doing a season 2, but nothing really came of that. So, what you think though? Because you think you excited to hear about this? I mean, what's on your mind, man?
It's more than excitement. It's like about time. It's been crazy. Marvel's been crazy. They've introduced so many things and have left so many threads just dangling. Nothing and several stories not finished. So this is about time, and this is a good. And that's like I said, it's more than excitement. It's just a good about time. Like this is what I need to do. So that's how I feel more about it than excitement. So what y'all got?
What you think, BA?
Somebody gotta die in the Doomsday. Somebody gotta die in Secret Wars. Somebody gotta die.
It sounds like a threat.
I'm just saying.
Somebody gotta die. Oh,
somebody gotta die. And the Thanos snap half people. That ain't gonna work this time around. It's
what you said? It's like you said Taskmaster, bro.
I'm
just asking.
Exactly right. Somebody gotta die of significant value. I'm not saying it's gonna be the two people that's in this joint, but it's gonna be some Eternals that's going to go in on it and no longer be Eternal. They're gonna be gone. Shout out to Moon Knight. Hopefully he stays around, but maybe one of his personas dies off. I don't know. Somebody got to die in these upcoming movies. That's all I'm saying. All right, you trying to keep hope alive with the things that you created and you want to see it through. My man, all power to you. But yes, somebody got to go.
So you saying bring it back to kill them off? I got you. What you say, BT?
So we see that BA ain't gonna be doing no singing telegrams showing up at your door. Somebody got to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody got to go.
By time.
No, I mean I think we need, like I said, we need to see more characters, and they got too many hanging. Like I said, too many hanging plot threads. I mean, we never saw the Eternals. We didn't get to see what happened to Moon Knight, or was it the Silver Scarab, or whatever her name was, the girl who popped up became was it Tawawet's Avatar?
Avatar, yeah.
So it's like bring all those folks back. Let them, tell those to. But once again, if you're only gonna do 2 movies a year, that means we're gonna be 2075 before we get to all these characters. That's why you got to bump up the production. But you're talking about when we gonna have time to get all these characters back? What they gonna do?
I was just about to say, Big J, with what you just said, I was sitting there thinking. What also too, what he said in this quote here, we might be seeing a lot of movies get stuffed with a lot of characters.
Yeah,
just to get everybody in. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about rumors going street level with some of their stories, cosmic level with some of their stories, the supernatural, and what was the other one? The mutants, right? We're talking about them using one of those four is gonna be in the next phase or whatever, bruh.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to stuff a lot of these movies and stuff, man, with a lot of characters.
Everything
bro.
gonna be Avengers to have that many characters. Everything gonna be Avengers.
Bro, everything gonna be a doomsday show or movie, bro. That's crazy, man.
No, you know what it is? Everybody gonna be at that pizza place, at Desperitos Pizza, in the background eating when the Mephisto having his meetings. You're gonna see like one of the Eternals.
He in there now. You happy?
Yeah,
He's in there.
Yeah, you're gonna see Pip sitting in the corner eating. That's what they're gonna do. They're like, see, we brought him back.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
Wow. Listen, only reason why I'm not mad at the Moon Knight when bro, they gotta do they oh my god, bro. They did Moon Knight so during that show. I was so hyped for that show. And that was not Moon Knight. I don't know what that was. The
you said there was no fight scenes? Is that what you said? There was no fight scenes in Moon Knight?
Bro, there was nothing in there. I don't know what that show was.
Every time there's supposed to be a fight scene, he had a blackout, and then he woke up and it was over with.
You ain't never lied about that. That's crazy.
Bro, hey, you know what? Now that I'm sitting there thinking, I was trying to get it out of my mind, bro. But you're right. They did.
Every time he was supposed to fight, they were like his eyes would blink, and then he would wake up and the fight was over.
And his hands are bloody or whatever. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's how you save on stuntmen and special effects.
Yeah.
So they put a She-Hulk, huh?
Yeah.
You know what else too? They gonna have to bring the Eternals back, and we still don't know what Arishem the Judge was talking about, bro. Remember, he judged the planet 18 years ago. What's up? Like we still waiting on that. You know what I'm saying? So we still got. I know we talked about it in Captain America with that Celestial in the Indian Ocean or whatever, but we still need something on that. Yeah, we need something on that.
Like Galactus fight him.
He dead now. I mean,
that was about Arishem. Not
yeah. Is Galactus a Celestial?
No, he's different. No? He's a universal.
I always
force.
wondered that.
He's a universal force.
Is he more powerful than a Celestial?
I know. So I do know that sometimes he interferes with him because he eats planets. And
they need planets to.
And they could go on
they sustain life and stuff too. So.
Yeah.
I always wondered that, bro. I always wondered that. I don't know why I thought maybe he was like a different form of like a Celestial or something, bro, because of the power. Because Galactus pretty much has some of the similar powers that Celestials have, right? They can destroy and give life. Yeah, and he got the power cosmic or whatever. So I don't. Oh man, that's interesting. Okay, but yeah, we got to air some judge the planet 20 years ago. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. We still don't know what's up with that. So
you said Dave Whitman. What'd you say?
Are we getting? Is he gonna be in the movie? Is he gonna be in Midnight Suns? Exactly.
Is it gonna be in Midnight Suns?
I mean, that would make more sense. Yeah, exactly.
I heard they said that what's the name? Ghost Rider's supposed to be the leader of the Midnight Suns. That's what I heard this week.
Yep, it's gonna come right after Blade.
Yeah.
You think Blade be a better leader?
Well, they set that up in Eternals, but I heard that he was one going around that Mr. Whitman.
Yeah. Or maybe he would be the leader.
That's what I thought. He's supposed to be the Nick Fury of the Midnight Suns, but
of the supernatural side of Marvel.
Yeah.
Hey, he snuck up on him like Nick Fury did on Iron Man the first one. So I could definitely see that. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's just a few of the stories, y'all, from the Kevin Feige interview, man. So y'all let us know, man, what y'all think there in the comment section. But before we get to the comments, let's go ahead and show some love to Playback.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
Yes, sir, man. Let's get some of these questions and comments, man. We got Salam in the building. He says they have to get Cyclops right. I agree with you. All they got to do is go watch X-Men 97, man. That's all you got to do. I mean, that was Cyclops right there.
Yeah.
From the first fight of the show, that was Cyclops.
Oh my god, the beam to slide. I loved it.
You know what? I'm about to go watch X-Men 97. Glad y'all brought that up. Glad you brought it up. Salam says, so can the recast, so they can recast Iron Man and Cap, but not T'Challa. Now they're gonna recast them now after they rebooted. So I know you heard the rumors about who could be T'Challa, and those rumors are really starting to rev up. Your boy Didris,
it's gonna be him.
I think it's gonna be him too.
Snowfall.
Really yeah, Snowfall. Yeah, I think it's gonna be him, bro.
Yeah.
So we gonna see, man. Old Franklin. Salam also says now Disney has X-Men. I wonder if they'll concentrate more on them and the mutants. That's what they said, but we'll see.
Okay.
The Avenger OGs are the money makers, but having the X-Men and the mutants opens up a lot. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Like they got so many avenues they can go, man, with this after this saga or whatever. I wonder if he's gonna even call them sagas anymore. I wonder if he's gonna probably have like independent, like, stories or whatever. You know what I mean? That's why I was kind of wondering too. Because that's just different quadrants. Oh, we say, BJ?
Somebody brought up something too. They were saying that so because they've made it where the assembling movies are the Avengers movies, is that going to still be the thing when you've got X-Men, when you got the Fantastic Four? Because they're not Avengers, they're their own teams.
Own team, yeah.
So would it be X-Men? So that's the thing. I think they got to break everybody out of the mindset of thinking the Avengers we got to go see, because it could be the X-Men, or or it could be some other team up movie. Or that's the thing. You got to set up
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. He says, Kevin Feige out here BSing, man. Yeah, man. What would you say, BA? He said he about 30-40% of the interview he out here wilding. Yeah, he got me with that Kang one, bro. I was like, bro, come on, man. Yeah, he wilding. Salam says, getting your tail kicked by some ants ain't gonna put you over with the audience. Yeah, like I said, I'm telling you, if my wife was here right now, she'll tell you. I was sitting there trying to tell her, I tried to explain to her after the movie, and she was just like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, this dude is, up there with Thanos, and she's like, but he got beat by ants or whatever. I'm like, damn it, Marvel, you messed it up. You had him. He also says, man, I can already hear the online outcry if Miles is the only Spider. Oh man, he's the only Spider-Man, and there's no Peter.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
but could it be if they already have the animated and it's been established as successful as the animated are, if they switch over?
Absolutely,
no, they don't care about that, BJ. They don't care about that. Ironheart was established in Black Panther. What's the name got handed the shield from Steve Rogers, and they still weren't trying to hear that. So they don't care about that, bro. They want their particular.
So if his name was like Miles McGillicuddy, they'd be like all on board, is what you're saying.
Probably.
I'm gonna let you say it. Sloan says Mahershala is going to be using the sword as she's gonna be using the sword as a cane by the time Blade comes out, man.
Yeah,
because I think they're stalling to get him to quit. I don't know if because like I told Cuz before, the Blade movie was his idea.
Yeah,
remember he went to Kevin Feige and Marvel with that idea, so that's like his baby. So I mean, you could be right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. They keep saying the movie coming out. They said it's like almost 7 years ago. So I'm still on the fact I gotta see a trailer, man. I really gotta see a trailer.
Yeah.
He also says, he says, same thing I thought about Moon Knight and them. Sounds like straight red shirts.
It's a Star Trek reference of where they're gonna get murked off.
I feel what you're talking about. Yeah. NBA were trying to red shirt them, man. Like the whole entire so they're gonna kill up the whole entire Eternals crew. That's gonna be what they do, right? To kind of make you say, like, oh, okay, Doom ain't no joke. Yeah, you just killed the Eternals, bro. So we're gonna see.
So it's gonna be Reed. It's gonna be Reed, Sam, and then all the Eternals gonna go down to the planet to take some.
Matter of fact, Icarus already died. I don't know if they're gonna bring him back. I don't know how they're gonna bring him back, but I mean, in the comics, he is like the main. You know what I mean? So turn him bad or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they
Somebody
bring
gotta
him
go.
back. If it ain't Icarus, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Just you got to bring him back, and before you let him go. We just need some questions answered. That's all. That's all we need. But yeah, man, listen, we definitely appreciate everybody, man, geeking out with your boys yet again, man. Like I said, if you guys are new to the channel and to geek content, do us a favor, man, hit that subscribe button. Join us here every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning, y'all. We will have a show on Saturday morning. We are doing the spoiler discussion for Fantastic Four, man. So y'all be ready for that. We encourage y'all to go see the movie because Cuz and BA going to go see it right after this show. So you know what I mean. So y'all go ahead and go see the movie. Come back and join us on Saturday. We're gonna have a spoiler discussion. All right. Also, too, I forgot to talk about this. Follow us on our other channel too, y'all, because we geek clips where we have the short condensed versions of the shows on that channel. We post some more shorts over there, so y'all can follow us over there, man. Help us grow that channel also. But other than that, man, listen, we will be back here on Saturday, man, for the spoiler discussion for Fantastic Four. Hope y'all will be here to join us. It is your boy Rail, got my cuz Will, BA in the building, and Big J, who's gonna be hooking everybody up with them Galactus popcorn buckets, man. I can't wait, bro. I'm about to go tell my wife right now, man. I just can't wait, bro. It's like, man, Big J stupid. Listen, we'll be back here on Saturday, y'all. All right. So y'all stay geeked. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button too, y'all. We definitely would appreciate that. And we out, y'all.